I know you watched my video, Noom, okay? Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the ads you put on my review. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let Me Learn Ya. And today's episode we are going to be revisiting the most popular weight loss app I've ever seen called Noom. About a year ago, one of the first videos I ever put on YouTube was my 2-part Noom review, which was a super duper deep dive into their company and their program. Knowing how products change in that industry and how quickly it changes, I was like, man, it's probably an entirely new product. It's been a full year. I wanted to give y'all an updated review from 2022. Yes, I rhymed. This video will be updating you on the changes that they've made, some good, some not so good, some meh, things that should have changed and didn't. And that's it. We're talking updates. So if you want like very specific details about the program, definitely check out part 1 of my Noom review. It talks about the company a lot, the claims that they make, their marketing tactics and all of that. Where part 2 gives you a lot more insight into the actual program itself because I talk about my experience using their product. So if you want details like that, check out those. And forgive me because they're old. My videos still aren't that profesh, but when I look back at some of the old ones, I'm like, oh my God, ew. Now, just a quick, hopefully 5-minute summary if y'all don't want to feel like losing an hour and a half to your day and watching my original 2 videos. This is what Noom is. You download it to your phone. It's a weight loss application. Okay. I couldn't find an updated number, but as of 2021, they had boasted 45 million freaking downloads. And their company was estimated to be worth $4.5 billion as of May of this year. How are they different from other weight loss applications? Because Noom claims to not be a weight loss application. It emphasizes the use of psychology and helping you to make behavioral changes to permanently change your eating behaviors for the rest of your life, and therefore making it so you never have to diet ever again in your life. See, they're not like other diets. They're a cool diet. Noom claims to provide you with an individualized weight loss plan, the support of dietitians and health coaches, bite-sized nutrition lessons that teach you everything from cognitive behavioral therapy and how to make smart goals to how to make nutrition choices and the calories in a handful of walnuts. And you will get a tracker for literally everything. Previously, what I said I liked about this application is I was very impressed with the application that they built. It was very profesh, it was very smooth, very easy to use. They obviously put a lot of work into it. They used a lot of gold standards in the industry that, from a human perspective, I believe is borderline manipulation. From the old Lana business perspective, I think is genius because it was even working on me, even though I knew exactly what they were doing. And they also broke rules of certain gold standards, which I thought was actually innovative. I loved that they were bringing preventative health together with accessible tech and that they were really focusing on the psychology aspect of food because I think that's ignored a lot of the time and is a very important aspect of how we interact with food. Also love that they were using dietitians and health coaches because research has shown that involving these types of people can absolutely increase someone's success. I did like the way lessons were presented because I think in this day and age, with us just being inundated with information and being highly stressed, you are way more likely to learn getting it in little bites than in pages and pages in a book. What didn't I like? A lot. I did not like the company. I did not trust the company for multiple reasons. They either purposefully or accidentally completely misrepresented research about their product, painting it in a light that was much better than what it actually was. They claimed that Noom was made by psychologists. It was not made by psychologists. It was made by the typical engineer, MBA, or self-professed entrepreneur person. and that was it. They temporarily had a director or VP of health, and he took off in, I think, 2016. The only person who was involved that had some sort of official training was a psychologist that they brought on in 2016. They claimed that everything was personalized, everything was individual. I found out that was utter BS. They were dishonest in their marketing. They would flip-flop between we're a diet, we're not a diet, we're sustainable, we're not sustainable. They didn't know who or what they were. They would attack restrictive diets while being one, and they had a 3-year-long history of Better Business Bureau complaints from people saying that they tried to cancel their account and then they got charged hundreds of dollars and they didn't get their money back, which actually, since my video, resulted in a class action lawsuit that was finally settled. I didn't like being spoken to as a child when I am a grown as a woman. Around the mid-2000s, it seemed like every tech dude thought that women loved cutesy, cartoony, baby frickin' talk. And that's what they gave me in Noom, and it was an immediate turnoff. Some women want that, cool, but it's not that every woman wants that. And I would see complaints about that repeatedly, so it was not just me. And lastly, all of their nutrition stuff. There was not one redeeming thing that I found about their nutrition. I felt that they were promoting disordered eating tactics. I did not like that they were putting pretty much everyone on an extremely low calorie diet, and the food plans that they offered, and they would charge a pretty penny for these food plans, infuriated me. They were telling people to eat 300 to 350 calorie meals that included like lettuce, chickpeas, and a squirt of lemon juice. So what changed? They're no longer hiding that they're all about weight loss, which I find redeeming, because I actually had some people comment on my Noom videos saying, it's not a diet though. You can't say it's a diet. And I was like, are you joking with me right now? So do you guys believe me now that it's a diet? They've rebranded themselves to not be Noom, but Noom Weight. So that's your first clue that they're all about weight loss. Second clue is they won't even allow you to use the application unless your goal is to lose weight. This was about healthy eating behaviors and healthy eating patterns. Why wouldn't I be able to, as somebody who is of normal weight but eats like caca all the time, why wouldn't I be able to use your app to learn about how to eat healthier? That's weird. You guys, now that I'm thinking about it, the only reason I can think that they would do something like that is that they wouldn't be able to report numbers if people weren't losing weight, if people were just staying the same. I gotta put some lip gloss on to handle that information, that bomb that just dropped in my brain. You still have to answer the same long questionnaire in the beginning where they tell you they're collecting all of your personal information to get a personalized weight plan to you. And they have the same manipulative tactics where they pretend to be doing numbers in the background based on your responses and saying, oh, previously we thought it was going to take 8 months for you to lose the weight, but based on the information that you've given us, it's only going to take 6 months now. And then you answer some more questions and they're like, oh, just kidding, it's only going to take 4 months. So you're like, ooh, if I keep answering these questions, it's going to be less and less time for me to lose weight. But I did notice some differences. They added some age-specific stuff. They added some pregnancy questions, some breastfeeding questions, and they did ask about eating disorders. So they definitely made changes to the questionnaire based on probably feedback. While I didn't really care for the super cartoony look before, I really don't like their new look. It reminds me of like the color palette and the feel of like those sad clown paintings from back in the day. It's just overall very boring and depressing and almost too eclectic. They'd have these images that just reminded me like of something taken out of a Peter Gabriel music video or a Talking Heads music video. The tone also changed. No more was all this geeky Noomers do these things and making stupid jokes and talking to me like I'm 5 years old. It was just like somebody was talking. But it also kind of felt like all the personality was zapped out. They totally changed the look, they totally changed the tone, and they updated the wording on their research as well to match what the actual research said. So I was like, okay, that's proven to me. They watched my video because I didn't see anybody else complaining about that in any of the other Noom videos. The other thing they changed was their color system for foods. So that's something else I complained about in my previous video. I didn't like the fact that they were putting very healthy foods in a red category. People are automatically going to look at these healthy foods like nuts and seeds and nut butters and just other higher fat, higher calorie foods that are extremely nutrient dense and think I shouldn't eat these. So they changed it from green, yellow, red to green, yellow, orange. And they actually made sure that I was very aware of an article to read that explained the changes. It talked about how food shouldn't be looked at as good or bad, but just varying nutrients. And that orange doesn't mean avoid, it just means use a bit less than. I still don't like the way they categorize these foods, which I'll talk about later. At least they were working towards making changes. Calories got a humongous makeover. When I started this app a year ago, every person I knew that I talked to, it did not matter their age, their physical activity level, their health status, their height, their weight, nothing. It didn't matter. They were given a 1,200 calorie diet. But this round, I was given a higher caloric limit, and it was explained to me immediately how I can adjust my calories if it turned out that they weren't working out for me. They added a weight loss zone as opposed to a hard fast, you cannot eat over 1,200 calories that you should work to stay within. And they emphasized that it's more important to stay within the zone than to go under it. Then they explained that they didn't recommend women going below about 1,200 to 1,320 calories and men going below 1,400 and 1,520? 1,540 calories. While I like the fact that they added, you probably shouldn't go below these ranges, it's still flawed. They're still not taking into consideration specific needs of people. It's not this arbitrary number. It's what is your resting metabolic rate. You should not be eating below what it takes to fuel your body to keep you alive. So it's like they had the intention, but the execution just didn't land. They did specifically talk about whether or not someone was breastfeeding, how exercise will affect how many calories you should eat. Again, I didn't get any of this last time. They explained that if you're still feeling hungry, even if you're staying within your zone, to experiment with adding like an extra snack in the day and see how that works for you. So they're emphasizing the importance of listening to your body, listening to your hunger cues, and addressing them. The food tracker was much improved, much easier to use, way less painful, but some of the measurements were funky. Like I noticed when trying to add rice, it asked, there was an option for, did you eat a bowl of rice, 2 bowls, 3 bowls? I'm like, what size bowl are you talking about? Give me cups, give me tablespoons, give me, grams, give me stuff like that. I entered my meals in the Noom app, and I also added it into a food tracker that I use with my clients that is insanely accurate and amazing. Noom told me my meal was 720 something calories. My highly accurate app told me it was 440. So I was like, what? What is the big difference here? I noticed that in Noom, frozen vegetables, 2 cups of frozen vegetables were being counted as 230 calories, which is insane. So there seems to be accuracy problems, and I worry about that because when somebody's using it, hyper counting their calories, and they think their meal was 720 calories, that's gonna break them. I didn't see the food plans anywhere. That was a relief. I think they removed them. Good, because they sucked. And whoever wrote those should apologize. Instead, I noticed that there were recipes, and you can search based on snack, dinner, lunch, whatever. But here's what I don't like about it. Again, everything about this application is calories. Their green, yellow, red food classification system is all based on calories. It's not based on density of nutrients, protein, fat, fiber, how it's going to affect your blood sugar, nothing. These recipes, when I was looking at them, I immediately noticed because I was like, oh, it's breaking down stuff. And when I looked at it, it's not how much protein's in there, how much fiber, what are the vitamins and minerals that are in there? No, just calories. But in their defense, they're just Noom weight. They're not Noom nutrition. So I guess they're sticking with the theme. I didn't see any Noom dietitians. I was contacted by group coaches with really canned text messages to me that honestly, I just ignored. I don't know what they're saying. Like, how's your day today? Oh yeah, let me talk to you about my day. This group coach thing was kind of weird. And so I was thinking, I was like, do they not have their dietitians anymore? So I head to the Googs and found out that they had laid off about 500, I believe, health coaches and dietitians. And according to the article, it's in response to their dwindling downloads and their dwindling sales, which I'm not surprised about, honestly. Post-pandemic, number one. Number two, the application in itself is going to give you short-term weight loss. You're not going to be able to stick with it, so people are probably dropping like flies. According to the article, Noom is claiming that they're going to keep their dietitians, and they also mentioned wanting to switch to a video format instead of chatting, which I think is a great idea, but I really don't understand how they're going to do that by cutting their staff drastically and then increasing the amount of time they'll have to spend with each customer. Their nutrition still stinks. It still stinks. Their lessons still include the old lessons I complained about before when they teach you that water is a miracle food because it's 0 calories. That is so horrific. They still promote eating foods that are higher in water to promote fullness. They just changed up the words a little bit, but they still said you can eat a pound of arugula and be just as full as eating a pound of a hamburger. And I'm sitting here going, no, you can't. And if you don't believe me, go try it. And the problem with this kind of mentality, it puts emphasis on short-term feeling full as opposed to the entire day. You can eat a salad with lemon juice that's like 350 calories. You eat less at that meal and you drink a ton of miracle water to expand your stomach and make you feel full. But then your body's gonna process that food immediately. There's no fat slowing it down. There's no protein to help with staying full. And so you're going to end up being hungry quicker than if you had a salad with olive oil and chicken and maybe some cheese or nuts or whatever that was like 500 something calories. You're gonna end up eating more throughout the entire day. They're still teaching about psychology and cognitive behavioral therapy and getting you to learn about who you are as an eater, and all of that is great. They need to stick to psychology and get rid of the nutrition stuff because it's just harmful. It's not helping anybody. The price seems the same, about $60 a month or $199 for an entire year. So I think it's great they're responding to critiques. I think that they are making some positive changes, which is great. Changes that are moving in a positive direction, except that old, embittered business Lana thinks that the only reason that they're doing this is not because they care about their product, but because they're hemorrhaging customers. They want to stop that from happening. They want to get their numbers up high enough to IPO and make millions and millions of dollars. But who knows? Maybe they're good people and they care about their product. Who knows? They clearly don't know anything about nutrition. It's obvious to me that dietitians aren't involved in making any of the nutrition portion of the application, just like it wasn't when I first reviewed this app. They don't know about sustainable weight loss. They don't know about healthy, sustainable eating. They do know about how to get somebody to lose weight quickly in the short term. And that is a negative in my eyes. And I think that Noom would be a much better app if they removed all of the nutrition and the food tracking and all that stuff, which is all negative still, and focus specifically on the psychological aspect of food and eating and behaviors. because that part is where they shine. Even though they've improved in certain areas, I still feel like they're promoting disordered eating. They have become more lenient with the calories and everything and have changed their wording about it all. But at the end of the day, their app is still all about calories are the only thing that matters. Nutrition doesn't. Count your calories. Look at your food as calories. So if you are only concerned about adding on or subtracting weight and you care nothing about your overall health or to learn about food or how to eat long term, then there you go. That's the app for you. Though I respect and appreciate the changes that Noom has made over the past year, it's just not enough. It's not enough for me to change from my original recommendation of not being able to recommend this application. The cost is astronomical for what you're actually getting. You can find better, cheaper, or free options to Noom if your goal is strictly to lose weight. You can find better nutrition lessons for free online. You can follow dietitians on social media. If you want to track your food, there's tons of free food trackers, for crying out loud. I'm going to leave some helpful links in the description below, links to food trackers that I think personally are better than the food tracker I used with Noom. And I'm also going to leave links to other dietitians that I think that you should probably check out online that give a lot of helpful information about food and such. So yeah, after a year, still saying thumbs down on Noom. No offense, Noom. And thanks for watching my video, Noom. Somebody, whoever was in Noom, thank you, because I appreciate it. And I like being listened to. They probably didn't watch it. And I mean, who does? You guys do, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's everything. That's the whole video. If you guys have any questions or comments, definitely let me know. And otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Also going to leave, oh my God, I'm going to jump off a cliff. Oh, I'm gonna jump off a cliff. We're all about behavioral change and yada yada. Sure, pal. Or not, it fit with the product or not. You've got to be kidding me with this right now. Here, what is this? Soupy sales. There is always somebody leaf blowing in this freaking neighborhood. They are obsessed with leaf blowers. They're custom-made. Is that even a freaking word? Jesus Christ. Can we just collectively outlaw leaf blowers? Leaves are gonna fall, you guys, and they're just gonna keep falling, okay? Rain, is there a hurricane coming? After this, I'm gonna nom. And not on a salad with lemon juice. Let me tell you what, I'm freaking eating pasta.